You're not going to win a pricing argument with a seller. They've already Zillowed it or ChatGPT'd it. They've already talked to their family member who got $50,000 over asking. Most of the time, they've already decided what their house is worth. And you walking in with comps, that feels like an attack on their judgment. So stop trying to win. Take them on a journey instead. The agents who nail pricing don't have better scripts. They have better frameworks, ways to let the sellers discover the truth themselves instead of being told. Because a seller who sees it will price it right. A seller who's told will resent it, and they'll resent you for it. I'm going to give you 4 ways to shift the conversation from opinion to evidence, and 2 strategies for when they ignore you and you still want to list it anyway. You're going to list it high. Because sometimes the overpriced listing isn't a loss. It's a lead machine, if you know how to use it. I'm Tristan. This is Your Daily Real Estate. It's a podcast, it's a show. It goes on for 5-10 minutes every single day. I've run Lab Coat Agents now for 12 years, been an agent for 22 years, just opened up a brand new brokerage. We're going national, baby. Anyway, this is to help you out because I've gone through this and it's not always the easiest thing to talk to a seller, determine pricing, and then you have to decide, do I want to take the listing that's overpriced if they're not listening to me? So the right price conversation, let's go over that first. For the better. Number 1, the neighborhood reality tour. Now, I've only done this a handful of times because sometimes the sellers don't want to do it, but I still try it. Here it is. Let me read this to you. And I have this on an outline. If you need this, message me on Instagram. I'm a little slow, so it may take me a little bit to get to you. Walk them through what's actually sold in the last 90 days, not just listed, sold. Pull up the photos together, kind of like what we normally do on your iPad, on your computer, or maybe you've printed them out. Let them see the condition, the upgrades, the lot size. Now, sometimes this takes a longer time, but it's important to set this framework. When they see that the house with the new kitchen sold for $425 and theirs has original 1990s oak or whatever it has, the conversation shifts from opinion to evidence, right? This is key. This is the one. You could also tour them around the 2 to 3 homes to show them in person what's going on. And those are the properties that are just listed. Obviously, the sold ones, you can't get in. But when you're looking at the competition now, throw them in the car or say, hey, follow me. Let's go take a look at some homes. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, listen, I'm going to go to your home. We're going to talk. And I also want to show you some homes after we're done, but not to sell them to you, to show you your competition, because my goal is to get you where you want to get to, and more importantly, to sell your home for what it's actually worth. And I know you want the most money possible. So let's go out there and see our competition. That right there works. Number 2, the days on market math. Show them what happens to homes that sit, markets that are tougher, especially going on 6 months now, which used to be the national average, right? After 21 days, buyers start asking, hey, well, wait a second, what's wrong with this property? After 45 days, now you're going to go chasing the market down where you should have priced it right. But sometimes it's out of our hands. I know the reality, right? So price reductions become public record. It's like a stamp of ugliness or what's wrong. Wait a second, this property's been on the market for 50 days. There's something wrong with it, right? I thought the same thing. That's how I ended up here, right? And that's how I negotiated down on this property that I'm living in. Now, it's important because the first 2 weeks are when you get the most eyeballs, definitely. And you got to take advantage of that. Are you priced right? But they have to see it. So they have to see the data, right? But you're taking them on a journey. Here's the thing we forget to do as agents. You're also going to show these properties that sold, but where did they start? How long ago was it? How many price reductions did they have to do? That property that finally sold Mrs. Seller finally sold after 6 months and they sold for so low. Well, look at the journey. They started here. A month in, they lowered the price. 3 months later, they lowered the price some more. 5 months later, they finally lowered the price even lower. And what did they end up with? They even ended up with a lower price. I don't want you to go through that. That's painful. And now you're taking them on the journey. Number 3, the net sheet reality check. Like if you're not bringing in a net sheet, you're not doing enough. Break it down. Break it down and show them. You could do it however you want. Here's a net sheet for a price at what I'm asking. Here's a net sheet for what Zillow's saying. Here's a net sheet for what Redfin is saying, right? There you go. Number 4, the buyer perspective flip. Ask them, if you were buying today, would you pay this price for this house when you could get that house down the street? Right? And if you've seen that property, you can use this at the end, right? Which is like, hey, okay, Joe, Joanna, we've seen 3 properties. That's your competition. If we're going to price your home right, at this price, which one would you buy if you're coming in? Which one would you buy? And just shut up and listen, right? Crazy. After you've shown them the property, not before. So now that's if they're reasonable. If they're not, and look, I know there are unreasonable sellers out there every day. I've dealt with quite a few. And some are like, damn it, I wish I didn't. But I did. All right. If they're going to insist on listing their home for like 5% over market, 3% over market, what the market wants for it, then here are 2 steps. If you can. All right. Number 1, which is number 5. The coming soon buyer magnet, if you're able to do this, launch it as a marketing asset. New listings in, so here's how it looks. Right? And we've done this so we also have a lead generation company off of Meta, right? Trenton runs it and he does a magnificent job. For those agents that can do coming soon, those ads absolutely do amazing. They kill it in all markets too. So here's what it looks like. New listing in neighborhood, and whatever neighborhood that is, generates calls. Even buyers who say, that's too expensive. It's okay because the coming soon is the hook, right? The new listing thing is the key. People want what's new. People want what they can't have. So if it's a pocket, if it's coming soon, they're like, well, I want to know about it. How do I get on this list? So start creating this buyer magnet, whether it's through your newsletter, Meta ads, Google, your organic social, wherever it is, whatever your broker allows you to do. Doesn't even matter the price at this point. They just want to see what's behind curtain number 1. And that's what you're going to do. So buyer magnet. And number 2 for this one, overpriced one. The 14-day agreement. This doesn't always work. I would say it works not even 50% of the time. But when it works, I'm happy. Get them to commit in writing. We'll try your price for 14 days, right? And this is how I get there. At this point, they know the property, the average days on market for their property in their area is going to be, let's say, 45 days, maybe 60 days. They know the average. So if we've already taken them through that journey of price reduction, and it finally sold for even less, or maybe a little more, but after 5 price reductions, then this becomes a lot more impactful. So this is what you say. You can change the days depending on what you think is right for you. We'll try your price for 14 days. Well, we'll try the price you want, Joe. We're going to try the price for 14 days. If we don't have any serious activity, then we can revisit this together. And this is why. This protects the relationship, right? Because you're going to have communication through this whole process. Gives you a built-in price reduction because you're saying, hey, now, after, do me a favor, Joe. Let's revisit this, but and this is where only sometimes they sign it. 14 days in, 21 days in, let's have this ready to go so we don't slow down. Because the last thing I want to do, Joe, is slow down this process for you because I want to get you where you want to go. But if there has been no serious activity, let's do a price reduction of the price that I think this thing would sell for. And I think 14 days in, we don't lose too much. You still have that window where people are still going to come and see it at the right price if it doesn't work out at your price. So 14 days in, let's go instead of 450, right? Let's bring it down to 425 and sign it so we're ready to go. Now that doesn't always work, but at least you did it, you tried it. They know you're going to come back. It'll be like, hey, you know what, Tristan? Let's revisit that in 14 days then. All right, say great, let's do that. But most sellers, they come around faster if there's been no activity and you are communicating with them what's actually going on. Because sometimes you just show up 14 days later and you're like, see, I told you, but you haven't communicated with them everything that you're doing. Like, what are you doing through this process? This is also why I like the company Raise, Rayse. This is not brought to you by them, but I love them because they kind of show exactly what you do to sellers and to buyers. So they're like, oh, that's all the work that you're doing. This is great. Thank you. Anyway, that's the process. If you need this, message me on Instagram. If not, please share this with somebody you think may need this. Review this, comment below. Give me some ideas. What am I missing? What do you do that we don't do? I'm always learning too. Have an awesome day.